I want to talk about the Dredge. Ever since the Dredge was released, I've been really conflicted on how strong he is. And in my recent tier list, I definitely think I overrated him because maybe I was just having a few decent games with him. But the more I play Dredge, the weaker this guy feels, and he's so frustrating to play sometimes. So let me just first, I want to go over like so many issues that the Dredge has. Let's start with the maps. He's very map reliant. Some of his worst maps, like for example Haddonfield, in Haddonfield, there's only lockers inside the houses. This means that if a survivor literally isn't inside one of the houses, you can't teleport to them or even close to them. That entire middle road has zero lockers. The outside of the houses have no lockers. The gardens, stuff like that, have no lockers. It's insane. Gas Heaven, the entire bottom of the map has no lockers. It's just inside the main building, one outside it, and then a few of the loops. This needs to change. I don't think they should add more lockers for every killer because then it would look kind of weird having so many lockers on the map. But I think when you play Dredge, there should be far more lockers on the map. Like there should be no dead zones. Sometimes you play charge your power as Dredge and just look around. You will see massive areas with absolutely no lockers, and that should just not happen. There should be lockers everywhere for Dredge, because if you can't teleport to a locker near a gen, near a chase, something like that, that's like 80% of your power already useless. So first of all, that needs to change. They seriously need to just load into every map, charge the power, take a note of where there aren't lockers, and add lockers to those areas. Next is locking lockers. This mechanic, I think, for starters, I don't think this will happen. But you could honestly remove this mechanic altogether. Locking lockers, like, shouldn't even really be a thing. But they've made animations for them. They've made animations for breaking out of them. So I think they'll keep them. So I think locking lockers should be way less impactful. At the minute they destroy this killer, it takes half a second to lock a locker. They're all locked. Double lockers. You can just lock one of them, and then when the Dredge teleports, he'll have to break out, and then you can lock it again, and you can essentially double lock a locker. You can essentially lock the same locker twice this way. And it takes 3 seconds to break out of one and completely kills your pressure. If you teleport to a survivor on a gen and they're near a locked locker, they're going to start hearing you breaking out, and they get like 12 meters of distance before you even exit the locker. And you're supposed to get the drop on them. This is like the whole point of your power is to get the drop on survivors. But when they lock a locker, you gain so much distance to the point where you would have had more. You would have been closer to the survivor if you simply just walked to them because they wouldn't have ran away so early. Um, and also, it's just far too easy to lock them. It's about half a second. It takes absolutely nothing. You're running by, you're going to unhook your teammate, you see a locker, just lock it on your way by. You start the game, just lock the locker. You're on a gen, just lock the locker. It's half a second. It doesn't take any time whatsoever and completely shits on the Dredge. In a chase, you're gonna have this big idea to, wait till the survivor goes around the corner so they don't see you, teleport to the locker to try and cut them off. Oh no, the locker's locked. You teleport, they see you leave, they're going to immediately start running the other direction. Your teleport is slow as shit, you're going to lose a ton of distance, you're going to enter the locker, you're going to have to break out, which takes 3 seconds. By the time you do this, the survivor's going to be 20, 30 meters away from you, and now you have to drop that chase, all because you tried to use your power. It's so annoying and frustrating. And it's also, not to mention, which I just said there, how slow your teleport is. Dredge's on non-nightfall teleport speed at base is 12 meters a second or 300% movement speed. This is so slow for a teleport. Double speed blight moves faster than this, and it's not even a teleport. I had a game like yesterday where I teleported out in Grim Pantry. I teleported maybe 80 meters, something like that. I was in the main building. I teleported to Shack. There was a gen near Shack which was about to be completed. I teleported for like a solid 8 seconds. It took me about 8 seconds to get there. Had I just walked, I honestly might have got there faster. Because after I came out of the locker, I had to walk out of Shack towards the gym. This is so bad. Why is it so slow? I can't think of any reason as to why Dredge's teleport is so painfully slow outside of Nightfall. Inside of Nightfall, it's 900% movement speed. It's 3 times faster. I honestly think Dredge's base movement speed for his teleport should be 600%. It should be twice as fast as it is now. Because why not? I can't think of why it's so slow. He should be able to teleport across the map really fast because that's your power. Also, in Chase, being able to teleport much faster. Like, for example, look at this clip. Look how long it takes me to teleport across maybe 3/4 of the map. That was like 5 entire seconds. Maybe even more. Like, just look in the clip how slow I'm moving right now. But either way, by increasing the teleport speed outside of Nightfall, it will make your chase a lot better because you might actually be able to cut people off in a locker. You know, if I try to teleport to a survivor that's about to run past a locker, by the time I get in there and get out, they're already way past the locker. So by making it much faster, it would definitely buff his anti that would make him a lot more scary to go against. So these are the issues I think is the problem with Dredge. Let me just give some solutions, some buffs to him. So I think, yeah, what I just said there, double his teleport speed outside of Nightfall. It should be 600%. You can try and argue, I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be. And next, we need to find a solution to locking lockers. I think for a survivor to lock a locker, it should take 3 seconds of animation to make it an actual time investment. I also think if the Dredge teleports to a double locker, he should always go to the unlocked one. This means they have to lock both of them, or the Dredge is just going to come out and break the other lock. I think breaking out of a lock should only take 2 seconds instead of 3 because 3 seconds is far too long. It's such a waste of time. And then you can maybe make Harry's calendar instead. Well, keep it 1 second, but maybe just buff the rarity to make it a stronger add-on less common. And then in Nightfall, when the Dredge teleports to a locked locker, he should immediately just bust the lock and ignore it. Because this is when you're supposed to be in your strongest state. You should not have to worry about these locks. So I think that would solve the locker issue by making it an actual time investment for the survivors, making it less impactful and less punishing for the Dredge, and then making it, in Nightfall, he can actually ignore them. And then lastly, I would also just increase his movement speed by charging his teleport to 100%. I think at the minute it's just a bit too easy to detach from loops when he places down his remnant. I know it needs counterplay, and I recognize that. So I think while you shouldn't gain distance by teleporting or holding your teleport, I don't think you should lose distance either. And overall, if you added all these changes, Dredge would feel almost the same to play against. You wouldn't really notice that much when playing against him, but playing as him would feel 100 times better. I think at the minute, Dredge is probably one of the most, like, the least the least satisfying killer to play in the game. Because you're just constantly getting shit on by your power. You're super slow, terrible teleport, your 3 second of delay when going to a locked locker. Every locker is locked. It's just insane. I find Dredge to be just such a safe killer. The devs really just tried to make this killer as safe as possible. They did not want him to be overpowered at all, and it really backfired because there's just far too much you can do against this guy to beat him. And even if you play well, sometimes you're at the mercy of the map because there isn't enough lockers. So in conclusion, add more lockers to the maps. Stop these massive locker dead zones. Double the base movement speed when outside of Nightfall teleporting. Make lockers take 2 seconds to break out of, 3 seconds to lock a locker, and make it so you ignore locks in Nightfall and you just boss right through them. And then just increase the movement speed by charging your teleport to 100%. And I think all these changes would make Dredge a much better killer, significantly stronger, while also somehow feeling basically the same to play against. They really didn't do a great job with the numbers on Dredge. I think his core power and his idea is completely fine. They just need to touch up a few things. Like everything I said, if they implemented every change I just said, he would be so good and way more fun to play. Because I really like Dredge. I think everything about Dredge is good, except the numbers on his power. So hopefully we do see Dredge buffs in the future. I think he definitely needs them. Because at the minute he just feels so bad to play, and I want to like him, but at the minute I just can't. So if you agree, that's good. Make sure to spread the word. I think most people are in agreement that Dredge does need buffs, and a lot of the things, a lot of the numbers in his power are just much too low. So thanks for watching.